We have Bruce live in the locker room in Tallahassee celebrating on the field with the Florida State. State, 27 straight points for Clemson tonight. Like you said, you're not going to win games like that. It can't happen. And I don't know why. Like, we were able to run the ball so well in the first half, especially to the left side, and then all of a sudden we started to abandon it. And like I said, there is some inconsistency.
How are they going to approach this game? How are they going to beat this Florida State team?
Well, we're going to break you guys.
Okay, that's it. The show's over.
In the story, we're going to break you guys. Look, and I'm joking, but it's true.
Lord, the climb continues, KB. Oh my God!
I am sweating.
Look at my heart. Look.
You know what? Yeah, I understand.
That his roommate was drafted in the NFL. He's a very famous football player. I'm not going to name him. Oh, I remember his name. Jack Lambert. You ever heard of Jack Lambert with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Okay. Jack Lambert with the Pittsburgh. His roommate in college helped negotiate his deal when he was drafted.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back to another episode of Seminole Sideline 365. Thanks for tuning in. We are on Commitment Watch right now. We will be pulling up the screen. I have it on the side screen here. We will be pulling that up as they go live. As you know, these things, your boy Newberg is live right now. He's doing his thing, so we're not going to steal any thunder from him. But as you know, these announcements take some time. So we'll be going live there as soon as they start making the announcements. This thing could go on for an hour, as most of you guys know. So there's a lot of ceremony around these things, stuff like that. I think Lester's ceremony took like an hour and a half. So we'll go live. We'll go live to the announcement as it happens. As like I said, I got it on the side screen here. But until then, we want to talk about some fall camp updates. Camp kicked off last week or the beginning of this week. There's been a lot of news coming out of there, so the old man's been watching that feverishly, and we want to get your thoughts as what's going on there and see what you guys had. But before we get started in that, old man, what are your thoughts on this announcement tonight and what it really means for Florida State?
You know what my thoughts are on this whole week between realignment and commitments and 5 stars. I had to go out, get me some ibuprofen for headaches, tension, anxiety, and these things have gone up. You've been shopping at Walmart lately, and then you throw in the cart Tums for that indigestion and that acid. Come on. I mean, this is what I've been doing. This is
what I use. So I'm sipping on a little Old Granddad 114. I said, if you guys are looking for a good bottle of whiskey that's affordable, and you want something in your old-fashioned as well, it's a very, very nice thing to drink. So I got my Florida State glass, hoping that we celebrate tonight.
What do you think of my new cap?
Why do you have
I've been following the UFOs, buddy. There's something going on. We are not alone. Someday we could have the first, 5-star alien. Those guys are tall, they're lean, they're lanky. I don't know if they run fast. Have you ever seen an alien movie where they actually run fast? No, they kind of stalk around. E.T. now, he was a little guy. E.T. He was a little guy, but he was cool. He was cool. He could probably play in the O-line there someplace. Okay, KJ Bolden.
Yep.
This is more meaningful. Here's what I think. And you give me your prediction.
Yeah.
I think he's going to sign with Florida State. I'm sorry. Verbal commitment to Florida State.
Verbal commitment.
You know why? You know why? Because of our defensive backs coach, Patrick Surtain. Patrick Surtain spent years in the league at a very high level of play. Now, everybody says, well, he's a Georgia boy. That's true. The in-state does bring some pressure on any out-of-state teams. And they say, well, Kirby Smart, he played the position too. He didn't play that position as the high level that Patrick Surtain did.
Yeah.
Patrick Surtain has the most NFL experience of anybody on the Florida State coaching staff. And this kid wants to go. He's a 5-star. This kid has all the potential to go to the next level. And I think he wants to play quicker than sit around on some national championship potential team. Yeah, that's all cool, but there's in-state pressure which concerns me. I'm going with he commits to Florida State tonight. And here's the other reason. There are a number of reps up there from Florida State. I saw Cam Davis is up there, I believe, from the 24 class. You've got, who's the head guru at War Chant? They're recruiting guys. Is that Langston?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
he's up there. So a number of guys have gone up there. And I think tonight we get our second 5-star DB.
Char, I don't know why I didn't say if FSU was one of his official visits. So that's a good question you got there.
Oh, of course he's been to FSU.
And Char, I totally agree with you that, and we brought this up, I think, last night or the other night on one of our shows, that Florida State needs to bring some more dynamic, like 5-star playmakers on the defensive, especially the defensive backs. We don't have the Jalen Ramseys, the Derwin Jameses. They haven't come through this program in quite a while. And to your point, Charles Lester is beginning of that. Bolden could be the beginning of that. Bringing back, if you want to become a national power, national championship team, and not get steamrolled once you get there, you need to build back on the defensive line, defensive backs, middle linebackers, and this could start a trend. I think getting Lester last week was a great. We got breaking news here.
Is it up?
KJ.
Here we go. Oh God. Makes some. KJ selected.
Oh,
They
is he
didn't.
switching hats? Is he switching hats? No,
Just
he
outside
committed.
Buford.
They weren't even live on. They had to push. They weren't even. They.
Five-star safety.
Oh,
He
stupid.
did like midstream. He did like midstream for them.
Oh, so On 3 didn't even
Seminoles
catch it
ran the
live?
number one safety in America.
No.
Looks like the Seminoles.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go, brother.
KJ, it is Florida State.
See, look at the stream. It was just like
It looks like the Seminoles.
They don't have a great
KJ,
camera.
Can you hear me?
The Knowles. Let's listen in. Can
I'm
you get it
celebrating
in?
right now with his family, mom and dad on either side of him.
that's a great win for Florida State. Great, big win for Florida State. Big win.
KJ, can you hear us? Let's just watch a little bit of this celebration.
Wow.
KJ,
His mother's telling him to sit down.
Newbert's got to let the kids celebrate for a second.
Yeah, I
he just
know.
announced. He just announced.
Oh, they didn't even. That was like 7 minutes in.
I know, dude, and they didn't even have it. They can't like they just had to cut to it because he just picked up the hat. There was no like.
Florida State.
That was quick. That was quick.
Number one safety in America.
Number one safety in
Number one
America.
safety in America. Now let's remember, KB and all our viewers, this is a verbal commitment. This is not a grant of rights contract, okay, where he locks in. That will come potentially early signing date.
Yeah, you're gonna have to a kid of this caliber, just like you had to do with Hunter. You're gonna have to battle till December for this kid. You're going to have to keep in contact, keep that relationship tight. But this is a great win for Florida.
Let's see if we can hear this.
Chad,
I think they're having some issues.
They're having issues too.
Yeah, I'm here.
Chad, what do you think of Florida State landing KJ Bolden over Georgia, Auburn, Ohio State, and Alabama?
Wow.
They're just going to their experts right now, so I'll put this down for now. But if they start interviewing him, I'll pull it back in. But I think that's a huge win for Florida State. Huge win for these are 2 straight wins for Patrick Surtain now. That's what big of an impact.
Big.
This guy is brand new to the staff, and he's just signed 2 huge prospects week after week. Now, and like you said, now he's got to keep these kids. He's got to keep them. But the ability for him to sign these 2 kids as a new coach on the staff is ginormous.
Who's done that? Who's done that in the last, I don't know, 5 years? Nobody.
It shows you that Mike makes the right, Mike can find the right coaches for the staff. And he found Atkins, found Surtain. He's kept some of the legacy guys like, Dugans and Odell, and people have their thoughts about that. But he knew he needed better DBs, and it looks like he found the right coach for it. Now, development may be a different thing, but this guy can recruit his ass off because based on what we've seen the last couple of weeks. So.
Let's make sure we understand why he can do that. This whole model of college football is shifting towards, and we've said this for months since we came on as a show, okay? And we're the new kids on the block. We're the new kid. Well, I'm kind of an old kid, but that's all right. NFL experience is immersing itself now into the college ranks. You never used to see too much of that. Yeah, you get some coaches, the old NFL guys that had to come back down and maybe finish out their careers. But now we're bringing in and we're raising new coaches that have played in the league. What do you think a kid wants to do? I want to get tutelage under the leadership of a guy that's been to the league. Now, Patrick Surtain was not a scout team player in the NFL.
No.
This guy, he earned his stars. He's legit. Yeah. Nobody on the FSU staff, and we have great coaches and great front office staff who all work their butts off to get these commitments, whether it's 3 stars or 5 stars.
Yeah.
But Patrick Surtain now, with 2 5 stars in, as KB said, his resume looks really good. And I don't think he'll be done in the future because kids want to play under people that have been there and know what is expected.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And Char, I think this may bump Florida State to a top 4, maybe top 3 class right now, which once again is great momentum.
Matters.
It's optics. It's optics. But it's a great win altogether.
Right.
Yeah, we got him. We bagged him. Great win today. And we got him. It was quick. It was a quick selection. Which I like the kid for doing that. He didn't drag this out. He got up on stage, picked the hat, and he was done. It was a quick announcement. So I give him credit for that. I like him already.
Yeah. Look, we got the lights up. We got the party lights. Things are going on here, buddy. That's right. Okay.
We got it. No, and I think it was, and you were, like I said, we were in a heavyweight battle. Georgia was the safest pick.
In-state. A lot of pressure to stay in-state.
And there's your answer right there, Char, of where we're going to land in the rankings. So it looks like On3 has us at number 4 class right now, right behind Florida and Ohio State. But once again, you just beat out Georgia, Ohio State for this kid, Alabama as well. You're in the right fight. That is the momentum you want. Regardless if we got KJ or not, you were at the table to get him. And now you're starting to close these, right? So it's a mixture of both. You're at the table. You're starting to close a few of these kids now. You're keeping that momentum. Now, this momentum only continues if you win these games during the regular season. If for some reason you struggle during the regular season, that's when some of this gets shaky. But this is a massive win for this staff. Massive momentum. And now this momentum is going to continue for you during the summer. Kickoff is a week from now. And there you go. But you only have a week left. But this is huge momentum going into the season because those other kids that may be on the edge of, their commitments to other places, these big-time recruits, well, you just took two big players off the board from other programs. And now if you can get those kids
in the same position.
Exactly.
In the same position.
If Lester was already recruiting for you. He was helping out with KJ. Now if you can get KJ start recruiting for you, get some momentum going, you may be able to flip a few other kids, right? And if you get 10-win season, this could be Mike Norvell's building class. This could be his class that catapults his program somewhere new, somewhere different. So there's, let me get some of these comments. Let me get some of these comments in here. Party in Tallahassee, absolutely, William. Absolutely. This is definitely, is some celebration time. Jeremiah Smith, Phil, you're definitely right. That would be one of those.
Party right here. I don't know about Tallahassee. You got a party going on here, brother.
Phil, you're right. If we can flip Jeremiah Smith, that would be a huge. And like you said, this is momentum we're talking about, right? You get 2 of these guys, and he's like, I'm going to join this. I want to join this class. This is a big class. So, Phil, you're right on there. Let's go. But there was a giveaway when Cam was reported to be there. Yeah, that news that Cam showed up. That you're totally right there. When Cam was there.
Yep.
But once again, you got great guys like Cam recruiting. You got the quarterback recruiting. You got Lester recruiting now. Now it's this class that they've put together for 2024 is very tight. They're wanting to build into something special, which you love to see, and it's getting contagious in terms of the momentum of who they're trying to bring in here. Any chance he's also a pair for that offer or 5-star who wants to go? Jared, I think you were talking about. Any chance he also a pair for what other 5-star who wants to go where he does? Donovan, I think you're saying
like some other player.
Yeah, pair him up with somebody. That's a good question. I mean, I don't know his connection with Jeremiah Smith, but I think it's things like that. 5-stars want to play with 5-stars, right? 5-stars don't want to go play with 3-stars. They want to be on a team that they think they can develop and win championships with, for the most part, right? So if you see a team that just signed 2 5-stars, I'm going to go play with a loaded defensive back because I know I can shine in that defense. I'm not going to go play with a bunch of average players that's going to win 6 games, and I'm not going to be at the highest level. So I think
high performers, KB, high performers get very frustrated on teams that don't perform high.
Yes.
Okay, they because they know where they're going. This kid, like Lester kid, and every kid, I don't care if you're 3-star or whatever, you're playing in the college ranks, your goal, or a lot of them, want to get to the next level.
Yep.
That's what this college football has turned into now. Yep. And yes, winning a national championship is great. Winning a bowl game is great. Winning your conference championship is great. But the bottom line is development. Where do I go to work every day? That's what this is becoming. Yep. And it may down the road, they could be employees of a university. We don't know what's going to happen. But he wants to go to work for a boss that can teach him something.
Yeah,
and he made the best choice.
Absolutely. With Surtain, like you said, this is a great one. Mike Norvell is killing it, like you said. What's up, Noel Nation? Big night, celebrate tonight. Charles says, I have a pretty good feeling that we would choose us. How the heck is Florida number 3 in the recruiting right now? I don't know. And like I said, that's where you have a new coach.
Which is weird. Which goes against the trend of saying if you've got a chaotic dumpster fire, why would kids sign there?
Well,
but,
they're
a brand name, so that helps.
It's a brand name. You got that. You still have some of that new coach smell
in state, something
stuff in that. But like we talked about last night, if Florida goes in and they win 4 games this season, that's all going to fall apart because those players don't want to be a part of a program that's falling. 6 wins, 4 wins. If Florida doesn't show up this year and it looks like they're going to have a tough road, those players, once again, Florida State's going to be in a good position. If they do their job on the field and keep this class together, they may be able to take some of those top players from that number 3 class at Florida. So,
let's face it too. These kids are smart now.
Yeah.
Their parents are smart. They've got other consultants with them. A 5-star is going to be loaded up with people giving him advice, including the Florida State coaching staff, to say, this is what our roster is going to look like in 2024. These are your odds of competing. There are no guarantees. No coach, no recruiter should ever make any guarantees. It's all open competition because you know what? That's what the next level is.
Yeah.
The next level up is full open competition. Cam McDonald found that out. He's already been cut from the Green Bay Packers. He was set loose and didn't even play in a preseason game. So it's very important that these kids understand that their mentors and coaches are the ones who can get them to the next level if that's their desire.
Great note there. And I do just want to keep in mind, like this, celebrate tonight, but this kid, KJ already has a visit on the books to go visit Auburn again during the Georgia game in September. So, like you said, and once again, both Georgia, we're in the play here. Auburn made a late push for him and made an impact with that new coaching staff that they have there. So once again, you are going to have to maintain this relationship. It's going to have a full court press to keep a kid of this caliber because he's not shutting down his recruitment until we're told elsewise.
Right.
He's not shutting down his recruitment. He's still going to take his visits, which a kid of his caliber should. You should keep your options open for the best program. That's to make sure you're making the right decision. But you are going to have to take care of your stuff on the field as a program, win your games, and also do the right thing. Coaches have to stay connected with these kids and not let these relationships die.
Let's bring up no hugs and kisses now. And some people like him, some don't. And I'm going to bring him up. I know you always twist your head around Coach Prime. Okay, Coach.
Oh God, why are you bringing this up now?
Because I'm bringing up a point. Just don't relax. Listen, Coach Prime, you can either like this guy or not like him, and I tweeted about this earlier today. He does tell it like it is, and he says, you know what? Whether it's TV, whether it's a player, whether anybody else, it's about chasing a bag. And my point to you, KB, and the rest of our viewers is, until this kid puts ink to paper in what? What's the early signing date? December, yeah. December?
Early December.
Okay. Until he does that, you don't think some bags are going to be chasing him as well?
Why do you think Florida State wants to get out of the...
No, but this is what you're... I'm adding to your point, is no coach from any of those major universities that were in the chase here are going to just hang up the phone because their head coaches won't allow it. They're recruiting now. If you didn't get the kid, that's not good on you. You got to keep calling this kid and maybe hunting down some more bags of cash to throw his way. Because ultimately, the bennies of the job are going to count. And it could trump a verbal commitment.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, and this is what Knowles99 said. Imagine if we had SEC cash, how much better we could recruit, and that is definitely
one
true.
of the things one of the things that came up. I
don't know if he's already getting a raise, but he's definitely adding to his short resume here.
One of the things that came up too, and it was bouncing around on Twitter like everything else does. It was about FSU was going to offer him over $1 million.
It was $2 million. $2 million.
Yeah, 2, 3. It's ridiculous. Come on. I mean, it's just out. You know what it does? It fills the airways.
How much do you think Travis Hunter got? Travis Hunter got some money. We know Travis Hunter got some money.
I wish I got some money. When are you going to send me my check? KB doesn't even send my checks out on time.
Yeah, we're operating at a loss, so I don't think.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
no, Scott. When that number came out, I that's a lot of money. But even with that, I think, like you said, it isn't over. Freeze is going to put the heat on, so to speak, and I think they'll continue to. He's still going to take his visits, like we just said. So I definitely don't think the recruiting is over. He'll flip his commitment to Auburn Tigers. Okay, Kevin, let's not go too far.
There's an Auburn. There's a Tiger guy.
Let's not get too out there.
You guys just need to beat Alabama.
Yeah, see, it'd be right. I like that. Looky, Derwin and Ramsey, part 2. That's what I'm saying. Like, good players want to be around good players, and this could be that start. We have not had that caliber of defensive back. I love Jamie Robinson, but he was not a, game-changing type player. He could make big plays, but he wasn't like the Hamilton kid from Notre Dame. He wasn't Jalen Ramsey or Derwin James. Like, those guys could change the course of a game at any moment, it felt like. And these 5-star type kids, more likely than not, can become that for your team. Versus a high 4-star, high 3-star type of kid. So I totally agree with you, B. Riley. If they can keep these two kids together, it could start something very special.
It'll be very interesting to see if they try to primarily make him a safety where they need help. And that could have been one of the things they pitched him, right? They pitched him to play at safety where we need that help.
Yeah.
And he looks like he could do that. He looks like he could do it more than Lester could.
Well, I think they're going to use Lester multiple ways. They're going to use Lester, I think, potentially both sides, but
I don't see Lester at safety unless he gets bulked up a little bit.
I mean, offense, defense, but
Yeah.
both positions. Tony says, "Can you kick? We could use a kicker. What's your price?"
Who, me? I can hit that ball. I hit that softball. Look, you got to get those hands.
Well, Tony, and we'll see. Tyler Keltner, we'll see if he can make this a kicking competition in camp. But we got a little bit of news coming out of camp about him. So
No, he meant me. Can I kick?
no, but I'm saying we have some potential backup options too in our actual roster.
Nothing's going to happen unless Fitz has a really bad camp. Okay, because as you said, KB, an evening or so ago, we've been on the air like every night. Is that as a coach, you can't be hesitant on your kicker until he proves you wrong.
Yeah.
Because you go for a 4th and 2 and you don't get it, and he maybe could have kicked a field goal. There will be games that come down.
The Clemson game, we couldn't kick the ball. We refused to.
There will be games where you need that kicker.
Knowles99 says FSU was able to retain some guys from the last class who Miami had thrown some cash at Hakeem Williams. Some kids have cash in second play. And Knowles, you're totally right. I think the old man in Prime, I hate when Prime says that because Prime is literally chasing bags right now in his career.
Why does everybody bash Prime? Why? Why do you bash Prime?
Because that's all he do.
I don't get it.
But because
no. But every other Florida State guy is great. Wherever they are, wherever they go, we follow these guys. Everybody,
who are we following?
Hold it a minute. I'm serious.
Who are we following?
I'm tired of you bashing Prime. I don't get it. He's a Florida State alumni. He's a Florida State grad. He's a legend, and everybody.
I'm saying I disagree with his philosophy of what he's saying. Not everyone's chasing a bag.
His philosophy.
Not everyone's chasing a bag.
He also put on the back of his practice jerseys the guy's Twitter handle. But nobody else does that. But you know what?
Talk about a me first mentality on the team.
No, it's not a me first. He put it on every player's back because that's what they want.
Because it's about them. It's about them.
No.
Yep. There you go.
No,
and Knowles 99, I do agree with you. For some kids, it is different. They care about academics versus how much money can the school give me. Because a lot of these schools are going to be able. Some of the big time programs are going to be even about how much money they can give them. But a lot of kids do care about who can give me the best degree, because a lot of them will understand that they won't make it in the NFL. They won't make it at the next level. So where can I go, educate myself, develop myself, both personally, athletically, and get to the next level, potentially? That's the dream. That's what they should be selling. And I do believe that's what better staffs do, is say, you most likely won't make it in the NFL, no matter how good you are right now. But we will set you up for success afterwards. That's what they should be selling.
This is going to be a problem. See, we have to look long range. If you don't look long range, there's a problem. What happens, and this is a party night. This is a party night.
Ash, we're not back until we get some. I need one more linebacker. I need a couple more linebackers. But
no. We can't say this team or the defense is back until they prove it on the field.
Yeah, and
I have those opportunities in the first 5 games.
I need a couple more Blake Nicholsons in the classes. We need Randy Shannon to do some work. We need him to actually, do something recruiting wise. But that's a whole nother subject. What were you saying, old man?
No, I was saying that. First of all, is this whole game and recruiting thing of recruiting kids has changed. What happens when a coach that recruited him leaves next year? Because that relationship that was one-on-one, and I hope they actually have 2 or 3 people that do the recruitment. Because you don't lose the whole family.
Yeah, they typically recruit teams.
And once a kid comes in and he joins the family embraces him, even though one family member moves on, and all you can do is wish that family member the best of luck. And I think Florida State does a really good job of that.
Yeah.
If he would not have signed or verbally committed tonight, Bolden wouldn't have verbally committed, our coaches do a great job staying in touch. And we've said that before. It's critical. You can't get angry or upset as a coach. You call the kid up and you say, listen, you're a great kid, outstanding potential. I wish you the best of luck in the choice you made. I wish you would have come with us, But I get it. That's fine. Stay in touch. I'm going to stay in touch with you.
Yeah, William, I'm not sure about the receiver. If he'll play receiver or not, I think that's interesting. But I think some people in the comments have receiver, all receiver or not. Old man has Colorado bias.
No, that's not. I'm not going to go there tonight. If you want to do a program on it, we can do this. I do have a bias. You want me to go get my diploma off the wall over here?
We don't need to see
I'll
that.
bring yes, I do. My helmet, the little helmet's back there. Let me go get it.
Davey, I'm starting to think he has a side Colorado football podcast that I don't know about. So I may need to do some investigating because I'm getting a little worried.
I got my graduate degree from the University of Colorado, Boulder. Wonderful city. If you've never been there, you should go there. But it's not about that. It could be Prime was at Kansas for all I care. He is an alumni of Florida State. But because we had 5 or 6 guys go there, we feel like he's tampering with our program. Come on. No.
I just don't like the way that he glorifies.
No, you don't like the way.
Noel 99 says,
like the way.
Love Prime, but he glorifies himself before the team.
Well, we'll find
said.
out.
Well
because
said. Said.
The clock is running down on all the coaches, all the hype, and we're going to find out. They have a tough schedule. They could be 0-5 in their first 5 games.
I wouldn't debate that. Prime is just an egocentric.
But this is he feels this is the modern way of coaching and bringing a team together. And let's be fair now. He had a team that won 1 game. He's totally changed the roster. You have to give some chance. But let's go back to the main point. Why do we beat up on Coach Prime?
So here we go. This is a great statement. This is a great comment. What kind of leader walks into an organization and says, I brought my own people? A CEO does, which is fine. But don't pretend it's a family in Boulder, and that's different at FSU. That is totally an accurate statement. That is totally an accurate statement. He went in there, threw everybody off the roster, brought in his own people, and that's like B-Riley says, that's fine. That's what a CEO does. And it's not a family.
Okay, wait.
That's not family like he's calling it. Yeah.
I will agree with B-Riley on one point. I was watching some film from Colorado today, and he was driving around in his golf cart because he has a major foot injury. Major foot injury. Yeah. And he's got one of his daughters or somebody riding around with him as the media thing that they have going on. He was joking around. I'm saying to myself, I'm not going to be doing that because if he goes 0-5, he's going to start hearing it. All of a sudden, the balloon is going to go down, just like when the Chinese balloon went down over in the Atlantic Ocean. It wasn't shot down by the aliens either.
Yeah, well, it was not. Back to the recruiting talk. Hopefully, this will start snowball effect, and many more 5 or 4 stars will want to join. We're on the way back to our dynasty year. We'll see about that. I can just feel it coming. Norvell gives me a lot of balance vibes. Yeah, but I do agree with the point that 4 or 5 stars will get us back on the right track. We need to get out of the business of high 3 stars that have a lot of upside. We need to, we can't be doing that anymore, right? When I see 3-star and we're like, oh, that guy has great tape, well, you're hoping for the best in that. We need guys. We need 5 to 10 guys. 5 guys that can come in, potentially make an impact right away. And some guys in the roster that are this year potentially can do that. A couple of guys this year. Next year, we need 4 or 5 guys that can do that the next year. And I think like you said, maybe this starts that snowball effect. If you can keep these kids committed, like I said, you have to take care of business on the field, and your coaches have to do it off the field. It could start that snowball effect.
Okay, now let me leave that up. Leave Char up. What you said is right. I don't disagree with that. But things have changed now. Back in the day when Bobby Bowden was building, there was no portal. There was no NIL. Yeah. Kids couldn't just easily go to another team. I mean, they were kind of locked in. Mm-hmm. So you could build. You had 4 or 5 years to build those kids and develop those core players. Yeah. Okay? Now, you're constantly under threat that a kid can go into the portal just about twice a year or whatever. More than that, I think. But it's scary to these coaches today that a kid who gets upset, he all of a sudden, I'm the hell out of here. Because we see it in normal employment, okay? And this is what this is becoming. Now, Char, I'm going to take exception to this because I told KB off camera the other day. Maybe I said it on camera. I don't know. I've heard people saying, well, Norvell reminds us a lot of Bowden. He does in his positivity. Norvell is a positivity coach. Okay, he's not a screamer like a Mickey Andrews would be. Okay,
yeah.
There are coaches in the old style coaches gut in your grill.
Yeah.
Okay, very famous Ohio State Buckeye coach got fired in a bowl game because he grabbed a kid from the opposite team who intercepted a pass.
Well, Jimbo Fisher used to grab the face mask of Jameis.
Jimbo Fisher was a very emotional guy. Norvell is not. Norvell isn't. So there are different coaching styles. However, to start comparing Norvell with one good season out of 3, right? We're three in?
Yeah.
3 in. Is way too early and not even comparable.
Char said it gives him vibes. He got vibes from him, which
I will take exception to that. But Char, we love you, babe.
I think the type, like, I agree, like with you, but I also agree, like the vibe of he's a relationship building coach. He tries to connect with the players. Right. Like you said, it's a style. I think the style of his coaching is very
When Norvell
similar.
starts preaching in the Baptist Church in Tallahassee, then we'll have a little bit closer connection.
Williams says, I think Cam Davis will help us keep KJ Bolden on lock. Like I said, I think this recruiting class is great about helping the coaches recruit other kids and keeping the class together. So I think that hopefully we see a trend there, and they basically will, like you said, help retain. So William,
you find out the character of a kid and the character of the parents and mentors. Grandparents.
Well, Cam's mom loves Mike Norvell. Like, that's the thing. Mike does a great job recruiting the parents of the kid. Like,
You have to recruit the parents. I'm not going to go back to your nemesis in Colorado. He says the same thing. You have to recruit the primary mentors of the kids. If you don't get them, you don't get the kids.
But we can debate that later.
The bottom line is KJ Bolden is a great pickup for Florida State. And let's say it again. If you're just joining us now, KJ Bolden has committed verbally to Florida State. 5-star athlete who is going to be either a great defensive back or a safety, and he can return kicks as we've seen him on film. The kid is an athlete.
Yeah.
That's what he is. So he has joined up with the Florida State family. This is a huge pickup for the Noles, huge pickup.
All right, I got to catch. Okay, I got to get through
secondary coach Patrick Surtain. I'm catching up people who just came in.
I got to get through these comments. Noles, I agree with you there. I'm not going to get the old man upset by reading it. Guess the old man does what with B. Riley? He agrees with you for once, B. Riley. I know, very surprising. Very, very surprising. Server Boy 3000 says, after Dylan finished their senior year at Buford throwing dimes at KJ, it's going to make things very tough for KJ to stick with this commitment. He honored his mom's wishes given a verbal. That's an interesting take. That's a very interesting take.
What is that? After Dylan finished their season at Buford throwing dimes?
Yeah,
it's very tough.
Because the high school quarterback connection of where he's going. So no, you have a logical argument there, and like you said, his mom likes Florida State, and that was their dream school, stuff like that. So that is it. Like, there's all these factors that will go into December, right? Stuff like you just said, that relationship in high school, his mom's wishes, stuff like that. What will happen in the next 5 to 6 months will be interesting. Like you said, anything could happen, and he's still going to take visits. As we know, in September he's going back to Auburn. So
I don't understand. Well, he's entitled to that. It's kind of a nice weekend party, but it can lay on a kid. Yeah. It can lay on you a little bit. But if he has any doubt, I don't understand why you would commit now then. Unless you're feeling like slots are filling up, but don't
not for a 5-star. Okay. There's no slots filling up.
Why not take the visit and then commit somewhere in the fall? Why do it now if you're going to take another official visit? That's the part I don't like. And if I was a parent or a mentor to somebody who say, Don't make a commitment until you've finished your work.
Now, someone correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I always heard that Mike Norvell's philosophy on commitment was, don't commit to us until you feel ready, like you're all in.
I've
heard that was his style. Like, I don't want to push you towards, like, because some kids get excited. They come to a visit, they're around the environment, I want to do this now. And he's like, no, hold off, think about it. But I always heard Mike Norvell's philosophy was, make sure you're clear-minded and you're ready to make the commitment because he wants you all in.
The last time I talked to Coach Norvell
was never. So I don't know when you were talking in your dreams, right?
Yeah, I think that's true what you just said, KB. I think that's very valid. Is every kid that I hear on YouTube and everything that's being interviewed, they say the same thing about this coaching staff. They're very realistic with me. They're not just feeding me something to come here. They're telling me exactly how this is, and they're allowing me to talk to all the players I want who are telling them, this is what you're going to get. You're expected to meet a standard. You're going to work your butts off. This is not like high school, okay? You're going to work your butt off, but they're here to make you better. They're here to make you part of this team and to get you to where your goals are.
Absolutely. And those
and if you're truthful with people, families and kids, and laying it out like that, you can't ever go wrong.
No,
you can't
absolutely.
Go wrong.
And Nose 99 just reiterates, he just says, Bobby Bowden reminded him due to his love for his players, and that was his comparison. And
okay, good. I like if we can take out certain pieces of that, because here's what I say. If all of a sudden the wheels fall off the bus on Coach Norvell's team this year, next year, whatever, all of a sudden...
Don't throw that out there.
All of a sudden everybody's...
Yeah. Tony with a great question. Any news on where Dale Jackson's situation is? Still don't understand what the issue with NCAA is. A little off topic of the day. No, it's a great question. We were supposed to talk about camp. He's practicing in camp. And from the notes out of camp is that him and Verse have been very disruptive when they've played together, and he's working out. And I think it's a concern. I think it's a little bit of a concern that we haven't heard yet. I mean,
I have some news.
Okay,
it's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen from the NCAA. How long could this situation that they have to basically, investigate.
It seems intentional at this point.
Investigate. How long could this take?
They're very busy.
This is outrageous. This is outrageous. They should have one of they use a lot of retired FBI guys, because I know that. The NFL does the same thing. The security guys for their team are retired FBI guys, all right? How long does it take retired FBI guys to investigate this? Is that the FBI at my door?
Yeah, probably.
I saw a black helicopter. No, but let me be serious for a minute. This is ridiculous. This kid has been allowed to come up here, enroll into school, practice all this time. This has to be a horror show.
Well, and the worst part is that
terrible.
When the portal was still open, like you could have found out, like, do we need to go get somebody else, or do we need to look elsewhere? Should we be training somebody else up? We're literally less than 30 days from kickoff.
You know what? It's about
they don't care.
Kid.
They don't care.
I've got to believe that Coach Norvell, but it's probably more AD Mike Alford, who's calling the NCAA and say, what the hell is going on? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need else? You got to make a decision.
B-Riley, that's a great point. This being on the heels of Baba Miller, who was suspended half a year for a plane ticket while it's so dumb.
Now kids can go pick up their 100, like the Spencer Rattler at South Carolina. Went down, they showed him picking up his $140,000 SUV new truck as part of NIL, and then this kid found out you couldn't do that, paid it all back.
Yeah,
he's
suspended half the season. Yeah,
I mean the decision-making process is totally bizarre.
There's no rhyme. There's no methodology to it. It just seems like random. Like, hey, we're gonna suspend you for half the year. No, you get one game. It doesn't.
I wish we eliminate the NCAA, and then we let the NFL just run it, because that's pretty much what's going on here. And then you know what? Let the NFL, this is their personnel system, let them start putting some money into this system to develop players. That's what this is about, and putting these things in a league that they can develop all types of kids.
Yeah,
okay, from the kid at Florida A&M and Grambling right up to Ohio State, Florida State, UCLA, whoever. The NFL has their hands and fingerprints all over this.
Yeah.
This NCAA thing is not working.
Yeah. Tony, I agree. They are running out the clock on this and just whittling down his options. It's bad for the player. It's bad for the university. It's just.
Why would they do that?
I have no clue.
How much paperwork could you have on an issue like this, and to investigate? Go down, interview the several people you need to interview, go back, reach your conclusions, and make a decision.
I guarantee they've done all this.
This isn't a national security thing about the Chinese balloon or UFOs.
They're idiots. They don't care.
I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, young Seminole. Yeah, that UJ commit's going to be in his ear all year. So to your point, and we gotta have Luke. We gotta have everybody in KJ's ear back at him. His phone's going to be lit up all through December, because these guys are going to be on him to keep him committed. So like you said, everyone's going to be in his ear all year long. So I feel sorry for some of these kids, because their phones must be ridiculously packed with text messages and tweets and all that crap. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this whole NCAA situation is just a joke.
Outrageous. Hey, let me give you a few notes on camp. We've had like 3 days now.
Agreed, Gameday. Agreed.
Yeah. Camp started on the 2nd. They reported in. They had a big kickoff luncheon, KB.
Yeah.
The first 3 days of getting outside or inside, too, in the air conditioning, has basically been shoulder pads, helmet, shorts on. They're basically going. I've watched a lot of film that the other medias who have access put up
closed practices,
War Chant and whoever else I can look at, and I do watch it, and they're acclimating. That's what you do in the South for sure, or in the North. You acclimate the players, because you don't want to have pulled muscles, pulled groin, have injuries up front. So they're acclimating their bodies to movement and everything else. So it's been they're running about 60%, they're doing about 60% effort. Even the drills, they're trying to knock the ball out of the receiver's hands. It's kind of just slapping easy. It's nothing big.
Yeah.
But it was great seeing Nick O'Leary out there now as an assistant.
Yeah.
He's like they call him student assistant. Maybe he's in grad school, whatever. But Nick O'Leary brings NFL experience, and he played on championship teams here at Florida State. This kid is going to help the tight ends and receivers. Wouldn't you like to? You're a young player. You want to go to lunch with Nick O'Leary? He tells you this is how this crap works in the next level, and he's going to tell them it's scary. It's scary because every guy wants your job. And that's what's happening now at Florida State. And Mike Norvell and coach staff are making it competitive.
Yeah.
It's a competitive environment, because you want to go to the NFL? What do you think that is? Go call up Cam McDonald, ask him how competitive it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking on Cam, but it's realistic. Go ask any of these kids. Nick O'Leary, great to have him on staff. And they even had a picture of him standing near Nicholas. The young Nicholas is on the team. Yeah, it was kind of a cool picture, all related to the great golfer Jack Nicklaus, obviously.
Yeah.
Destin Hill doing some work, kick returns. I didn't quite see, or maybe I missed it if he's doing punt returns, but they're working out a few guys on the kick return thing. Okay?
No, so they are working. I believe it's they put Destin Hill back there. They also put I think Keon Coleman was back there as well.
Winston Wright's been doing some.
Yeah, they're testing 4 or 5 guys back there to figure out who they want.
Yeah, and there may be a young guy.
Benson's
Destin Hill
there.
could break it. Yeah, they've got a lot of guys. The big thing is who can catch the ball. And it's harder than everybody thinks. Okay, when you're out there, 50, 60,000 people, lights are on, pressure's on, guys are getting in your grill. It's hard. So when a guy drops one, there will be drops.
I'm really
Let's understand that there is a lot of pressure. Okay?
But you're talking about kicks. I'm more concerned,
I'm
not
talking
kickoffs.
punts and kicks.
Okay, so that's the thing.
both.
And that,
I'm
just to be
talking
clear, it was Deuce Spann, Winston Wright, Destin Hill, Rodney Hill, Trey Benson, Keon, and Keziah were the ones that they were
I
working
don't
with the
have Trey
return
Benson
unit.
back there.
He
I
was.
would never put Trey
He was
Benson.
he had a touchdown last year. He was the only one with a return for a touchdown last year.
Kickoffs and special teams are dangerous
crazy.
situations. Okay? I'm just telling you, as Coach Bruce, I'm not putting my number one running back there. I've got other guys, okay? Yeah. No. Okay, hold it.
Here we go.
No,
Here we go.
Let's correct this statement now. The FBI, and I have sources, and these are real sources, the FBI didn't find Saddam Hussein anywhere. They were late to the party, and I'll leave it at that. And KB, you know what I'm talking about.
I am not saying anything.
You know what I'm talking about.
saying.
Will you say this? The old man knows what he's talking about.
He knows what he's talking about.
Okay,
He knows
so
what he's talking
take the FBI out of that, please, Knowles. Okay, now where the hell was I? Oh, I'm not putting my number one running back there.
Yeah,
That's not
no, B. Riley, you're right, and I'll pull up some of this, but I don't know if they're gonna Warchant's gonna get all pissy if I put this up here. But they know, like you said, they have great coverage of the camp. But the size of the guys from 4 or 5 years ago compared to now you're right. They look more developed. They look in shape. Like you said, the physical size of the guys from freshman to senior it does look different. Once again, that has to translate on the field. But the guys look like actual college football players. O-linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, even receiver. The receiver room the size of the receiver room is ginormous.
Yeah.
So
Let me add
you're
to
totally
that,
right.
KB. Let me add to that. And then, you talk about size.
Yeah.
Brandon Fisk. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This guy is a grown man.
Yeah.
I mean, he is massive. And if he can play the way he looks, and this guy could play himself into a high round draft choice.
Yeah.
Okay, and he doesn't have to leave this year, but he could well be on his way. And this kid can run. He beat Norvell in that stretch. Now, I questioned whether Norvell was going 100% because I think I could go in there and beat Fisk. Okay, I do.
He's a big guy.
Now, you guys question that. You're an old man. Okay, I tried last year for charity to beat, who was it, Coop and Lovett. They never answered the phone. We still made our donation, which we will do again on state games. But you know what I'm saying? This Brandon Fisk is a beast.
He's a big dude.
So hopefully he'll be able to do a lot of reps. He'll have a lot of energy. But here's what Brandon Fisk is going to find.
Here's the race.
Yeah, I know. I know. Even the girls with it. Here's the deal. How will Brandon Fisk stand up in the heat and humidity?
Yeah.
How many reps is he going to be able to take? Because he's not used to the summers here in Florida.
Yeah, true. Hummus Hero, we appreciate the congratulations. You wanted him in Columbus, but we didn't want him to go to UJ or Bama, so they have enough talent anyway. So, yeah, you're right about that. Well, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate the thanks in there.
Love you, hummus.
So we appreciate it. Hopefully we can keep
I
on way.
love hummus. What's your best kind of hummus? I like it with the garlic. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. By the way, that leads me into what I had for dinner tonight. Okay, not a sponsor yet. Sprouts. Anybody got Sprouts? I had the wood-fired flatbread pizza. They're not a sponsor. I'm just going to get a quick review.
No, please,
okay,
God.
You
please
pop
don't.
it in the oven,
Please
frozen,
don't.
pop it in there. I put it on for 15 minutes in the oven, baked 425, okay? And, this is the pesto sauce, spinach, and tomato. That's why I look so damn good.
Now the paid ad.
Look,
Folks.
those are structured, buddy.
All right.
Now, wait a minute.
Oh, God, please,
And you
please.
can get this at Sprouts, which I have a couple of problems with them. But actually, I give it a 3 out of 5. And, the carriage was good, had good carriage. I like that.
Okay.
Not a lot of flop. And it was good. Try it out. Try it out.
You've garnered
wood fire.
You've garnered a few more questions. FBI insider question mark? Yeah, see, now you're getting questions.
We're going to stay with football. But you ask KB, does the old man know what he's talking about? The old man does.
I'm staying away from this.
Yeah, maybe sometime we'll let you know.
Char says, do you think Johnny Wilson will drop the ball less this season? So, Char, that's a very valid question. I've seen the practice reports, once again, not there, but I've seen the practice reports that he has still continued to drop balls. I think this will be a constant issue with Johnny Wilson. And I do think that this will inhibit his success in the NFL. Because I do think he's a NFL caliber player based on his size, his speed, his physical intangibles. The guy has the tools that the NFL wants.
If he can't catch the ball.
Can I finish my damn statement? He has all the tools to be an NFL caliber player. That's what they want to see. Everything he has. But the guy is going to have drop ball issues. And you can read it in the notes. Go to NolesGameday.com. Go to Ward Chant. The guy is dropping balls still, it seems like. Now, come the season when he turns it on, does it not happen anymore? Maybe it gets cleaned up by then. But it seems like from reading the reports,
maybe he's a gamer.
He's continuing to drop the ball. Now, it may not be felt for us as much because we have a lot more weapons this year, and he drops one ball a game, it's not going to kill us, right? But at the NFL level, when you may only get 5 targets, if you drop 1 or 2, you're out. You'll be cut. So I don't know if it doesn't seem like he's cleaned it up yet, but we'll find out in a couple of weeks here. We'll find out. That's a good question.
Let me give you a couple other notes. 6 quarterbacks in camp. I wasn't aware Michael Grant's in camp. He's a freshman out of Tallahassee, 6'3", 201 pounds, played at McClay. And he had some good numbers there. He's got good size, 6'3", 201. But he's last on the depth chart. Most of the guys seem to be getting the reps are obviously Travis, Tate, and then Duffy and Glenn Brock.
Yeah.
So everybody, McNamara and Grant are getting a few throws here or there.
Hypnotic, I agree. He's not beating Fisk. He's not beating you
think so?
Or Norvell aren't beating Fisk.
You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked how I can run at my age. Shocked. How fast I can run to get that flatbread pizza.
Exactly. Trey Benson was good on special teams until he became the number 1 running back per guy. And that's a valid point. To your old man, I don't think you want to put your number 1 weapon back there, especially with you losing Trayshawn Ward. And I do think we have great running backs behind him. But losing Ward, who you knew was a special weapon there, and now with Trey Benson being the bona fide number 1, I think that's a good call. And you have a lot of weapons that you can return kicks. Like, you shouldn't have to use Benson. So I think that's a very good call. B. Riley says, Pokey and Helton in comparison to Johnny Keon and even Wright and Destin Hill, it's not even comparable. Yeah, I think the average height, with Pokey, Helton, and back then was like 6 foot, maybe. But now you look at the room with Johnny Keon and, alone amongst Kentra, you put Kentra in the mix, you got some big bodies, but you have talented bodies too. This isn't like when you had, what is that guy's name? The Abusement Park. Like you have, he's a 3-star guy that we thought that was recruited by Willie Taggart, and he just didn't turn around. But like you said, Destin Hill, speaking of camp footage, Destin Hill, he looks built. He looks like he came in shape to the party. He looks like he's ready to go. I'm excited to see maybe if he can get something done. Tape of Winston Wright, he looks like he's fully 100% ready to go. The green jersey's off on him. He's full time now. So B. Riley, I totally agree with you.
They are loaded on the offensive side. Yeah. They just have to get the ball to the guy and get in space. You have too many playmakers not to get the ball out in space and let them do something with it.
All right, back to your hummus question.
Roasted pepper and rosemary. I don't know. Yeah, the rosemary's interesting. Capers are really good. They can get a little salty at times. Hey, Food channels do very well. Hit that damn like button, okay? Or we have to go to a food channel.
And everyone, I apologize. We're all over the place tonight, but
this show's going longer than we ever expected to go. And by the way, KJ Bolden signed with Florida State, or verbally committed to Florida State. Yeah. That was why we're here.
Acclimation could be an issue during the Big Ten. We're going to do a whole episode on potential transitions again, updates.
What does that mean?
I think the weather.
Oh, you mean weather. I think Dagby means get the capes out and.
And I think Big Ten's got some big lines too. You got to prepare to play for those boys. Okay, Martha Stewart, we're talking Noles football. Well, good call, Noles 99. That's a very astute statement there.
Yeah. Okay, Noles, you probably have a nice wife there, cooks you a nice dinner.
B. Riley says it's hard to tell the difference between the old man doing a bit and the old man just being himself.
There's no bit. This is no bit. This is the real deal.
B. Riley, I can tell you this is 100% real, which is the scary part because I have to deal with it. Imagine when it's Christmas.
And I'm only drinking water. That's not gin.
B. Riley, luckily we live thousands of miles apart, but when it's like Christmas or things, it's scary. It's scary.
This is no bit.
Who's the next guy to join the Noles family and when we'll announce it? Char, the only one I care about is Jeremiah Smith right now. That's like I said, I don't care about 3 stars or low 4 stars.
I mean, they're going to take a guy.
I care about 5 stars. That's the only time I'm going to do a show like this. If it's a 5-star,
4s and 5s, but 5s.
But a guy that could be an high impact player for Florida State right away. That's what I care about. Let's see who we got here.
All right, let me say this, by the way. We did get a freshman linebacker in, Justin Cryer. He's on the official roster. He's working out. Okay, he was a 3-star guy.
Noles 99. Good statement. Good statement. That's true. He had a lot of time.
He has some potential. There's a guy that can help you on scout teams. There's a guy that can, take some time. He might be able to help you on special teams as well. That's where a lot of these guys fit in. Okay, so that's pretty much it. There wasn't anything exciting. The coach talk is the coach talk. I think everybody knows what that means. The questions from the media is pretty softballish. There's nothing big that comes out. They're pretty much briefed not to ask about certain things, so they don't ask. They don't bring it up. Maurice Smith looks like he's going to be the starting center, deserves it. He's on a couple of watch lists for outstanding player. Casey Roderick, who came over from Colorado, is getting work at center and guard. They think he's very adaptable, could play just about anywhere on the line. He is a very experienced player. He's been in the trenches. And then the new guys are starting to work along. But it's been pretty slow camp so far. There's no big hitting going on. But I think we'll find out more when the hitting really starts. And you could get a few injuries. So that's what hitting produces.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Another question from Hummus Hero. So now that FSU has the elite DBs committed, do you think any more are on the way this season? DB-wise, I'm not sure. Like top 100 guys, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think you need any more defensive backs unless they're a 4 or 5.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to help you. You just don't need any more. We got a lot of young defensive backs. When you look at the roster, it's filled up with guys. And so they want to develop some of these guys.
Yeah, like he said, the DB room for me going into the season, I don't have. Everyone knows I don't love our DBs.
You're a skeptic.
I like them. They're good. They can do their job, but they're not elite, right? And I still think that certain teams will be able to throw deep on us.
Well, wait a minute. Now, having understood, and believe it or not, back in the day, I was a freshman coach for Florida High, and everybody knows Tallahassee understands what Florida High is, and I coached the freshman defensive backs, and I played some defensive backs. Okay, when I was younger. Now, defensive backs are only as good as the rush you're getting up front. How long do you think they can stay with these guys? 3.5, 4 seconds. Yeah. So let's not just throw it all on the defensive backs and safeties. You've got to have pressure up front.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think the addition, that's why you got Daryl Jackson, that's why you got Braden Fisk. You knew that the interior, and people, I'm not the biggest Fabian Lovett fan. I think there's a little bit overhype of what his impact is, but you need more weapons, you need more on that interior line. And I think adding additional weapons around him is going to make that push up the middle along with your edge weapons. You're going to get to those quarterbacks faster, to your point, which will take some pressure off your DBs along with your linebackers. Because if this team wants to get great, you've got some great offensive weapons coming in this next class. Cam Davis, Luke, Landon Thomas. Then you got Charles Lester, KJ Bolden. You got those defensive weapons in the defensive backfield. You got Lonnie McCoy coming in. D.D. Holmes just committed as the edge player. So you got a great class. I think the only thing really missing is linebackers. Like, we need some. Like I said, Randy Shannon's got to do his damn job. He's got to do his damn job. Is he? Do his job. He got Blake Nicholson. He got Blake. We need a couple more Blakes on this team.
That's the feedback. Now, there are a lot of other guys involved in recruiting instead of just the one coach. You got the whole front office.
But that's his job. That's literally his recruiting job.
Office gets a lot done. Jamari Howard. Who is Jamari Howard?
You're the expert, right?
No, I didn't say I was an expert.
No, he's.
If I was an expert, I'd probably have Media X.
No, they're in the lead for that. He's at Miami Central. They're leading for him. No, I think that's a good call.
JUCO guy? Is he
no, high school. High school guy. Yeah. So cornerback.
I think they're not taking any more high school guys for the 24 class.
No, they are. What are you talking about? Yes.
I would probably look for some guy that might still be in the portal that's had some reps. For 24 because you know.
I think you're right on that, and I think that this is another guy. I think once again, but because you're thinking, we have these guys, but you always need to have a backup plan if one of these guys decommits. So it's better to over-recruit a class and get talented players because if one of these two guys, Lester or AJ, does flip to Auburn, then you'll have another high 4-star player that you have backup. So over-recruit the position. It's
just like when you see how many offers go out every year. I mean, they just over-offer. It's like the airlines, they want to fill up the plane.
So B. Riley says, I'm telling y'all right now, we're going to see some mass substitution of 2 to 3 O-linemen in situational football this fall. We're going to do some weird and interesting things with rotating O-line packages.
B. Riley's right because it develops. It keeps the interest of kids. It keeps them in the program, and it can wear down another team that doesn't have depth.
Well,
if you do it properly.
And if you had the right pieces to do it. Like, we could not do this 2 years ago.
We do now.
That's exactly.
We have the right pieces. You see how many pieces are in that O-line room? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pieces in there.
O-line versatility is important considering injury history at that position. Hopefully health holes, being able to move around the line can be important. Totally agree, Tony. Just like B-Rod was saying.
Very true.
And that's why building up this depth and what Atkins has done, as well as the portal and recruiting, and guys like Julian Armella getting another year under the belts, there's quality depth there. There's quality depth there.
I hope he gets a lot of reps, opportunities, because I've been hearing that name a lot.
Yeah.
And,
he played some last year. He even played a little bit.
But people are ready to see him step up because next year he's going to be a starter. He's got to be, or it was a failed project.
Knowles, that is I love it. That's a Dion. It's a Dion quote. It's a Dion quote.
Then what are you doing?
I love it.
Okay.
Is it crazy? Less than 2 years ago, we were hurting on the O-line. Now we have some of the twos that can start anywhere else. Congrats to the staff and heart. I can't imagine being in that hole that Atkins inherited and seeing that depth chart and being like, what the hell am I going to do with this? Like, but that's why I give a guy like that credit. He came in, he dealt with the roster he had, and then he used the tools around him to make it better. He didn't just say, he did a great job of developing what he had, because Maurice Smith, there's guys in this roster who've been here through the long haul, and he built those guys up, and then the other ones that he couldn't, he got the portal to supplement and make this team a viable product. And it wasn't easy, 3 wins, 5 wins, now 10 wins, but he built it up the right way, and I got to give him a lot of credit. I saw an
interesting interview, I don't know if it was War Chant or someone else, they were talking to Maurice Smith, and he said that his relationship with Coach Atkins is just great because he says Coach Atkins every season tells me, I'm bringing in guys to push you to take your job. And he's not kidding around.
No.
He brings in Casey Roderick, who's a decent guy's had a lot of playing.
He was the captain of Colorado. Yeah.
That's what I mean. To push these players. We have finally gotten to that point with a coaching staff that says there are no guarantees because in the world, whether it's football or corporate, You could be gone in a minute.
Absolutely.
If they decide they don't need you anymore. And that's how the NFL is. That's how college football is. And you build a competitive environment, which leads me to say that's why our leadership team at Florida State University wants to move the entire university into better space, okay? To be competitive, or you get left behind. There is no future in the ACC.
Yeah. Over to Tony. Love it, hype grew from how much we struggled last year when he got hurt. I do believe you are right in that correlation of when that 3-game stretch when we got, we lost 3 games. It was that our offense didn't play well either during that, right? So, like you said, there's a lot of correlation with that, and hopefully we can put it all together. But he needs to play better. Our defensive line, interior needs to play better. We just, as a team, have to play better and beat Wake Forest this year, right? And Clemson. Hamasiro says, I see Clemson as the biggest threat to FSU in the league this year, and I don't see them regaining an elite passing attack. So maybe those DBs should help be okay, at least above average. Yeah, no, Hamasiro, I think you're right. Clemson is our kryptonite. And that is going to be, and we talked about this, I think, on the last show last night, or the night before, is that will be the benchmark game for me. LSU is LSU. That is opening week 1. There's going to be some nerves. Just keep it close, win or lose, and you do your job. But the Clemson game is, are we back closer to where we want to be? No, not back, not national championship, but are we back on track? If you can't beat Clemson this year, because this, no offense to them, but this is not the Clemson of 5 years ago. This is Clemson of today. We got to be able to beat them this year, and because you are not going to be this set up next year. You're not going to have Jordan Travis, a veteran quarterback.
You're not going to have Trey.
You're not going to have Trey Benson. You're probably not going to have Johnny Wilson.
You're not going to have Tatum Bethune.
Exactly. You're not going to have
Jermaine Bell. You're not.
Jaheim Bell. You're not going to have Jared Verse. You're going to lose. This is your best shot to knock them off the pedestal and make them, and then keep that ball rolling for recruiting. If you can't get over the hump now, I'm very concerned about what we're going to do.
Here's the deal. Here's the bottom line. Okay, here's the bottom line. Mike Norvell is under pressure to win big games because right now the thing is he's beating people, but look at the people he's beating. Okay, he has to beat this Clemson team. He's got to dethrone them, and this is the year. You don't get a better team than this because next year you're kind of rebuilding a little bit, reloading if you want to say that. But everybody's these comparisons. When Florida State came into the ACC, they didn't lose a game for like 10 seasons or something. I remember the one they lost. It came down to they had to get in the end zone on the last play, and it was like a half yard short. I don't remember. I watched it. I think it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it was and it was at the University of Virginia, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I'm saying what you're saying is. We've got to get through this hurdle. This is the team to do it.
Absolutely. This is the team to do it. Charles got a question. Can I go to the official FSU site to listen to their games for free? You do that, old man. What do you
get the Gameday app? Yeah, there's a FSU Gameday app, and then you can listen to the call right on the radio.
He texts me all the time. He's like, "Are you listening to the game on the radio?" I'm like, "No, I don't listen to the radio." But that's what he mutes the games and listens to it on your app, right?
I do. Now, there's a delay, and I don't like that, but it depends who's calling the game.
Yeah, some of these announcers are so bad on some of these.
Jeff Colhane does a good job.
I mean TV. I meant TV announcers are bad.
I turned down the TV, but you get this delay, which is okay.
Yeah.
But when Gene Deckerhoff was on, bam,
he was
there. And Jeff does a good job. Jeff Colhane, he's in there.
No A50. Yes, we talked about this the other night, and it's going to be tough. This could be its own show because
he could strip out the offensive line. That's a whole show.
That's a whole show because, like you said, he's built up that room. He's a great recruiter. He's built great relationships, and that's why this is another reason why moving to another conference, getting more money, paying your top assistants
keep them.
Is essential. We have to get the money to keep these guys, like Dabo did for so many years.
Yeah,
he kept all those coaches together so they wouldn't go to other places. And it keeps continuity, keeps players together, especially in the transfer portal. you got it, like you said.
Yeah, look, and that's another thing. The old dynasty Florida State teams kept the coaching staff together.
Yeah.
Mickey Andrews, he had offers to take other head coaching positions. He decided, I don't want to be or need to be a head coach. I like what I do.
Yeah.
Okay. And so on. And I am I'm gonna say what I know. Okay. And I have to say that. Coach Prime today mentioned Mickey Andrews. I learned so much from that guy. And there's an example of how we keep a guy. Atkins is going to be on the verge because we're going to have a decent year, and he's going to get some offers. And he could strip out the offensive line. And guess what? Then everybody's going to hate on him for doing it. That's the way it is. Wake up.
It's different. But to your point, and I'm sort of like this in my profession. I don't want to manage people. I don't want to be the higher. Some people like their role. That's what I'm saying. He may say, I'm good being the top assistant in the country if Florida State's rolling, as long as you pay. Because that's the thing. I want to be paid. I want to be paid. I don't want to be the head coach that has to do work 100,000 hours, but I want to be the top assistant in a top program and paid like it.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Nothing wrong with that. You can have a management track guys, career guys. You can have expert guys who just want to do defense or offense. Or
some people don't want to be the CEO. Some people just want to be the CM or some other co-leader and paid, but make sure they're paid like it.
I didn't want to drive the garbage truck. I just wanted to be on the back, grabbing the garbage and.
Exactly.
So on.
Exactly.
People think I'm joking. Actually, I did that in the summers when I was a kid in college.
There you go.
In Clearwater, Florida. And let me tell you what we did. We picked up the steel cans from the back of the house, brought them to the front, dumped, put them back on my shoulder, and put them back. I told a trash guy that. He looked at me like I was an alien. True story.
That seems inefficient. Black Chisholm says, do you think FSU can flip JoJo Trader or Smith? I think it's a good question. JoJo Trader.
They don't need a wide receiver this year.
Okay, can you relax? JoJo Trader seems like the guy. I think actually both of them are trending towards FSU. I think Miami potentially could implode again this season. And if that implodes, then FSU's the taking. Jeremiah Smith, I think, is the better prospect in my eyes. Yeah. But I think they're both on the table. I believe you'll get one of them. Maybe not both of them. That's a big thing. I don't know if both of them want to come into a crowded room like Florida State's, is my opinion, because it is a very crowded room. I think you'll get one of those guys. I'm just not sure which. I would take Smith over JoJo, though, in my opinion. But who would you take? Williams says, JoJo Trader, you need to come join the good guys and go Noles. Yeah, I mean, that's one key thing is you take away a guy from Miami, it hurts them both ways, right? He has to play against them, or they have to play against him and take it off their roster. So you may want JoJo versus Jeremiah Smith, who's going to go play for Ohio State. Unless you join the Big Ten, then you got to play against him. So, that's another show.
Okay, and again, let's say if you just came in really late to the show, because we're way over time, is KJ Bolden did throw on the Florida State cap tonight, and he is verbally committed to the Florida State Seminoles, and that is a big one for Florida State.
Yeah, Hummus Hero, we're going to be doing our LSU preview show. Well, we're gonna do it in a couple of weeks. We're gonna have an expert on from 24/7 Sports, so definitely tune in for that. But you're right, Florida State's gonna have to. Their DBs are gonna have to be ready. LSU's got some monsters at receiver.
They do.
And we saw that especially in the second half, and we talked about it a little bit last night. Is that the linebackers are going to have to be able to spy better on Jaden Daniels because he ripped them up with his legs last year, and he's gonna do it again this year if he has the ability to.
He's just like Jordan. He can kill you with his legs as well as the arm. The kid can throw.
B. Riley, you're right. I saw something about that. JoJo Trader's mom having health issues, and they live in Miami, so may dictate. And you're right, and that's a good call.
And the kid should.
Yeah, I think you have to do. All these kids have to do what's best for their family, and whether it's they transfer, whatever. And that's the whole thing with this waiver. If Daryl Jackson literally had to move to get closer to his family, and that's why he waiver, NCAA should make a quick decision about that. That's why I hate this whole process because it's so inefficient that we don't have to go on another tangent about that.
It's incompetent.
Yeah, and he personally thinks Jeremiah will look for a stay in state. Just got to give him enough reasons to feel. Yeah, And that's, B-Rod, that's what it comes down to. Give him reasons on the field to stay. Win 10 games, beat Clemson, do your job on the field and say, this is a top program, a top 5 program. You want to be starred in it. You want to be showcased in it. And we got to do our stuff on the field. You're right. That's the bottom line. We were also hurting on the receiver as well, but now it's our strength. Very right. Very right. Dan Norvell and Alford saved the program. I got to, you could do a whole program on what happened when Alford came into this program. Because I do think Alford has changed the mentality of the athletic programs at Florida State. Not just football. Soccer, softball.
Everything.
Except for basketball. That's a whole nother thing. I hope he. Okay. If I have to make a prediction right now about basketball, and I know most people don't want.
Not even go there.
I'll just say when they move to another conference, Leonard Hamilton will retire and they'll start a new. That's my thing.
This is the Golden Watch tour for Leonard Hamilton. He's done a good job. Okay, and it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, well, but Knowles 99, you're right. Norvell and Alford has been a
respect to Coach Hamilton.
No, he's a legend.
It's just over.
Yeah, but Knowles 99, you're right. Norvell plus Alford has been a great match. Both want to win. Both want to. It was a great build mentality. Alford is a great CEO of the university in terms of the athletic department. He knows what he's doing. Look at this private equity thing he's looking to do.
Peter Collins, who is the chairman of the board of trustees and the board itself. These guys are locked in now. They're all together. This is an easy one. It really is. There is no option. There is no option. As a famous general said, when you're surrounded, your options are simple.
Yeah.
And it's true. I don't even see it being complex. What is complex is how the hell do we get out of the bear trap of the grant of rights? Now, you hear the rumors, well, it's not an issue, and it is an issue. It's a contract law issue. That's what it is. We don't need to get into any more, but it is a contract issue.
Yeah.
And so, even Maryland, when they got out, they had to go to court. Okay, so it is contract law.
Yeah. No, Tony, you're right. They create receivers in the lab. It is pretty crazy. Sorry, I think I just skipped around. We're coming back to Ray Cameron. I hope Hicknot.
Okay, I know we're running out of time here, but let me go back to the ref thing. Okay, let's go back to this ref. There was you had one up just.
I'm going back through. I jumped.
Okay, let me just say this.
Wait, we got a comment about your UVA game. UVA, we should have ran Pooh Bear Williams, not Dunn.
Absolutely. I remember that. Dunn, we handed it, it was like 4th and goal. It's like 5 seconds left, whatever. We handed it to Warwick Dunn between the tackles, and he's already 8 yards deep when he starts. Pooh Bear Williams, yeah. Now, Pooh Bear, not the quickest guy on the first step, but a big dude, okay? Warwick, quick off the step, but a little guy. And we came up, I swear, I just melted. It was like a half yard away. 6 inches. He was right at the goal line. Oh my God. I think and it was like the first game we lost. I thought it was on a Halloween night.
Wait.
UVA went crazy. It was kind of a cool, crisp fall night. Is this it?
I think it's just it.
Yeah, 4 seconds. I got it right. Look, right there. Look, it's an inch. It's an inch. The referee's blow. It's dead. Game over.
We need that. Yeah. This is what they need the instant replay.
Yeah, look. Unbelievable. I can understand why they gave it to Warwick Dunn because he's quick. He's very, very quick. Look at that. Yeah. They won the national championship that night. They defeated Florida State for the very first time, first loss in the ACC.
That's crazy.
And that was how many years in? 10? I don't know.
95.
Several years in. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not grasping all the facts. They tore that place apart.
That is crazy. Okay. That is crazy.
Good
recall.
Hey, let me tell you one more story, and I know we're running out of time. I don't know. I was at a UVA game. Here we go. Right? With the family, right?
There we go. I wasn't there. Was this your other family?
Yeah, the other family. The small group of Florida State people. And we're having a pretty good game. We're having a big game. We're kicking their ass, I swear. And then you get some drunk UVA guys who they were, I don't want to say, they weren't UVA fans. Let's just say that. And they start going, oh, that's when we had the stolen sneakers or the free sneakers.
FSU, free
and
sneakers.
They're going like, how's that? Criminals and all this other shit, And all I did, this is coming from behind me. All I did, I swear, I'd go like this. I'd point up to the scoreboard. It was like 50-7, and I just keep pointing up. I didn't say a word. If you want to infuriate people, don't say a word. Just point. And I pointed at the scoreboard, and then I looked around. All these security guys were now around me and the fam. Okay. And they said, it might be a good time since the game's almost over that we help you guys get out. I said, I'll take that. I was not born a fool. Who was that guy on the A team? Remember him with the cut?
Mr. T?
No Mr. T. Yeah, I ain't no fool. True stories from the legacy old man.
That's great. Tony said, which is worse, TV announcers or the ACC refs?
Okay, see, this is where I have a problem with this ref thing. I really do. We cannot
allow
a game to come down to the refs.
I know. That's true. ACC refs are pretty bad. Announcers aren't going to go. Yeah. I think it's essential for us to beat the big name teams on our schedule this year if we want to take the next step forward and keep all of these 5 stars from the FSU.
I agree.
Yeah, no, Char, you're totally on point there. Totally on point there.
Yeah, I know what those games are. And those
Chad, let's see. Sorry.
Yeah, those include the in-state games. Even if they're having crappy seasons, you got to beat them.
Thank you, Chad. We appreciate you coming by. And definitely hit that like button.
Chad, you're the man. Chad, you're the man. Tell everybody, hit that like button because it helps us do a little bit better. We appreciate it.
Yeah, William, it's going to be huge for our line and our linebackers to work in.
Was he the spy? Was he the spy last year?
I feel like he was on parts of it last year, but they brought some outside pressure.
They could even bring in a D-back to do that if they had a good one who's a good tackler.
We just got to get interior pressure and force them out, and let the edges do what they can do. Charles says a 2-loss ACC team should probably make the 12-team playoff, right? Next year.
No way. Yeah, not this year.
Oh, not this year. No it doesn't expand till 12 teams till next year, and hopefully we'll be gone. But a 2-loss ACC team would not make that, in my opinion.
I don't think so.
Unless it was unless they had a loaded at a conference schedule.
Well, if you lost to Notre Dame and LSU by a point each, that's going to be.
But that's what we talked about.
It depends on the losses
and the committee. What's the committee going to?
Where you played.
And the committee, how are they going to choose? You would have to blow out everyone else on your schedule. And what's the committee going to weigh versus? That's why I hate this kind of committee.
Well,
nonsense.
How else are you going to do it?
I'm just saying. B-Riley says, got to give Coburn some credit too. What he did with the budget during the pandemic, not hesitating to pull the plug on Taggart tenure before many damage was done, is hugely impactful.
I agree.
No,
I agree.
That's another huge point.
There are a lot of invisible people that are leading this university, doing a lot of hard work, and also on these sports programs to make this elite. That is the only goal: is to be elite and to be excellent in what we do academically and in sports, and that's the way it should be.
And B. Riley, you're totally right. That football culture had turned rotten, essentially. There weren't leaders. They weren't fighting for each other. It had turned sour. And to your point, for someone to pull a plug on a coach that early with that type of exit fee, that early termination fee is not easy, especially for for a university. It wasn't flush with cash, but to do it like that, you're right. You have to give him credit for making that move, then finding the right coach to build it back up during the pandemic, like you said, which we forget that. Mike Norvell had to recruit and build his first class during the pandemic.
And there were other cultural, social issues he had to work through.
It's just a tough
in the country.
Well, not the country, just
in the locker room. A lot of issues.
Yeah. It was just a tough time for the country and just recruiting everything. It was just tough.
And remember what Coach Taggart used to say a lot. Do something. Well, we did. We
Do
fired him.
something.
We did something.
And then he got fired from FAU. And then
It's just.
he seems like a good guy. He
seems like a nice guy.
I just don't know if he's
this
a good.
isn't a nice guy business anymore.
But once again, I think he's one of those guys who's a better assistant coach than a head. I don't know if he's. Some guys shouldn't head coach. It's a tough job.
Yeah, but
some guys are better
wants that.
recruiting. Some guys are better. I don't want that. I wouldn't ever
when
want
you're
that.
a coach, and you're a coach, you want to be that. You really do. A lot of guys.
A lot of guys. I don't think all of them do. Like Mickey Andrews, maybe he didn't want that. Maybe he wanted to be that coordinator.
He wanted to stay in Tallahassee. He
exactly.
wanted to work with Bobby.
Exactly.
But how many coaches will do what Bobby Bowden does and stay here 30-some years?
Not nowadays. Nowadays,
they're not going to do it,
No,
and that's part of the problem. Which and we gotta. This thing is going marathon.
But look at these Clemson assistants who have left. They're finding it's not as nice when you leave.
Here's one of the key points on this, on the importance of being in one of the two mega conferences. If not, you are now a stepping stone program for players and or coaches to constantly come and go.
You're right.
Period.
You're right.
And that's it. Because the money they can offer them, you can't match it. And when you can't, they're gone. So you have, finally, Florida State has woken up and said, we got to get out of this.
Well,
whatever it takes, if our leg's in the bear trap, and we got to saw off our leg, then that's what we got to do.
Because you're right. Because an assistant like Atkins may even just take a lateral position at some Big Ten program because of the money. Just because of the money.
Absolutely.
And
These guys worked their butts off.
And
they worked their butts off.
You're totally right. Tony's free shoe you, damn Spurrier.
Hey, there's two guys, Tony, that I don't like. Spurrier, because before every game when we played him, he was already working the refs the week before. Like, they hit hard late. They're always late. But he was smart that way. He was smart till he got to the Washington Redskins. They got rid of him in a couple of years. He thought he could just coach 7 hours a day. And the other guy is Dabo. I'm not a big Dabo guy.
I'm not a big Dabo guy.
Because he's a bragger.
I
don't like
can't
him.
really stand him.
Mike Norvell's not like that.
No.
He's not.
No, he's not like that. Tacker didn't even survive FAU.
Well, he tried to make his son the quarterback. Now we're going to see how that works with Coach Prime and his son as quarterback.
But his son, I think, actually has more talent than Willie Taggart's.
You know what Prime said? He said today in the stuff I saw, he goes, "Yeah, he's really good. He's really good if we can keep him standing." which I thought was.
That's B. Riley says athletic coaching is probably the most visible example of the Peter Principle. What's the Peter Principle? I honestly I don't even know what that is.
You get to your height in terms of career.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah.
And once you reach your height, you'll fail if you go above that. That's the old Peter Principle.
Tennessee's most okay. All right. I'm just looking it up because I learned something new. Yeah, No, it's just interesting, like you said. Most people.
Well, it's like you're saying you don't want to be a CEO of a company.
Well, because I haven't done any CEO, but I know I don't like managing people. I want to be part of a team.
An expert.
Yeah, exactly. I know that, but I want to be compensated for the knowledge and the expertise I have.
There's nothing wrong, and there are coaches who want to just be part of the team. They don't want the visibility and the headaches.
I don't.
I get that.
Yeah.
In management today, especially, it is so tough. It is so tough.
Yeah.
For any managers out there, I get it. I've been there. Old man doesn't like that.
That is true. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for pointing that out.
I'm starting to not like you.
Promoting someone beyond competence. Yeah, that is. That may.
Well, you know what? Wait a minute. Let's say that. Who's incompetent? The people promoting them, or the person themselves? The person himself can't get the next job up. They have to be taken up by somebody.
Or apply for it.
Somebody has to hire you. Well, you still have to interview. They still have to evaluate.
But they think they're ready for that, right? And they apply for it.
Okay, well, you don't have to accept the guy.
Oh no, it's both. It's fall on both sides. I agree with you. It's fall on both sides. But that is. But I agree with B. Riley. Now that I understand that, athletics is the perfect example of that. People being promoted beyond their competence. I totally agree with you. That is interesting. I feel as long as we are in the ACC, as soon as we are good enough, the SEC or Big Ten will always poach our coaches from us. Then we'll be back to square one again. And that's Char, and that's why we have to be one of those top two, so that we can
poach. You're right, Char.
And that's why we have to join, so we can adequately be on the same level, same revenue, pay accordingly for the right coaches, and so, like you said, they can't be poached. You're
Before
totally right.
this all started with NIL and portal and these mega conferences, there were always stepping stone schools.
Yes.
Coaches came in. They wanted to prove their mettle, get their worth, get their resumes pumped up, and then they left because they knew these teams weren't going to ever win national championships. They weren't going to compete for that. All these coaches did that. Their head coaches, Memphis. Is Memphis going to win a national championship? No. Mike Norvell saw a situation that was in the toilet. Those are the jobs you want. Okay? Prime did the same thing. They're in the toilet. You can't do much worse. You can only do as worse. So but there's always been stepping stone programs in sports.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, have a good one, B. Riley. Yep, we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you.
Listen, I'm going to have to take a break or go change my diaper. I don't know. I thought we were off the air.
Thank you all again for joining us tonight. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, share with a friend. We appreciate y'all's comments. It's been a great time. Great day for Noles Nation, for KJ Bolden Commitment. And we will leave it at that. Join us next week. We'll have another live episode, most likely. If we don't, follow us on Twitter. We'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Welcome to the family, KJ Bolden.